Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can answer and troubleshoot your problems here live. So here we are. We're just shy of the all-time high, which I guess we hit yesterday. I've lost track now since the election. I think we've hit all-time highs like 2 or 3 times since the election. It's really been a heck of a week here in the crypto community. So we're going to talk about the markets a little bit. And I want to cover some things that people are confused about. Some questions people might have. I pulled up some questions on Reddit. Also, I want to go over the recovery check. You can do a recovery check with a Trezor using Trezor Suite, and you can also do a recovery check in Ledger Live. Well, not really Ledger Live, on your Ledger device using the recovery check app. And basically what you do here is you get out your recovery phrase that you have written down and you start the app, and then you enter those words directly onto your device. And when you're done, the device will tell you whether that seed phrase that you just entered matches the configuration of the device or not. So I had a question earlier today in email. He was afraid to do a firmware update, which most people are, and then he said he knew he had his backup phrase, but he was also afraid that his backup phrase might not be written down correctly, and he was just afraid. And so I said, look, you've got a recovery check, so get out your recovery sheet, do the recovery check, confirm that your seed phrase is written down correctly, and then you don't have to worry about anything, right? If the device bricks during the firmware update, you can get a new device and do your restore. However, the device bricking during firmware updates is a very unlikely event. So don't worry about that. We're going to talk about recovery check. I do have, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. The leaves are dropping here in Michigan. And it's been cold a couple times last week, but also warm. I love this time of year. So it's good to have everybody here. There is a question early on, so I'm going to cover this question real quick. And let's go over to the big board and say hello to everybody. I want to thank Kenny for the news, for being here tonight. Andreas Ebert, Simon is here. Good to have you guys here. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia, Another Man's Point of View. Ampov, good to have you again. Just for fun, has anyone converted ENJ? No, I don't have an answer to that question. It's been many years since I was holding ENJ. At the time it was an ERC20 token. I thought that it updated to its own blockchain a while back. So I'm not sure if this is some new thing they've done to upgrade it or not. Whether or not you can manage that in a Ledger device, I don't know. Most likely you would need a third-party wallet. For that, you'd have to find a third-party wallet that allows you to connect your Ledger device and install the ENJ app, if there is an app, right? So sorry I don't have an answer for you off the top of my head. Nerd miner, I don't know what that is, but it sounds like something nerds use to mine Bitcoin or whatever. I'm not a huge believer in mining. Bitcoin mining is very complicated now. It really isn't going to give you much of a return mining on your phone or your computer. And all of these cloud mining services out there are pretty much outright scams. So I'm not sure what the nerd miner is. If it's cheap and, it mines Bitcoin while you're sleeping or whatever, you might make a few bucks over the year. Who knows? Let's see. I wanted to get to this question here that Nawal Lofi asked about the Ledger Nano Does she say whether it's a Ledger Nano X or what it is? Okay, so we don't know if you have a Ledger STAX, a Flex, or a Ledger Nano S, or an S Plus, or an X. But I'm assuming it's an X because I saw this question or this issue on Reddit and I couldn't find it. I noticed your question a few minutes ago. I poked around on Reddit because I remember reading something about this. But what I would like to do quickly here is I'm going to zoom in on the device if I can. I've probably got the wrong camera. Oh no, I do. I have the Ledger Nano X. Okay, good. We got it framed here. Okay, so I need to get in. Can I get in any closer? All right. Camera 2. Okay. All right. So your question is, and your issue that you're saying is that you cannot install apps, and whenever you install apps, the device shuts down. So I guess first of all, we want to figure. Dustin and Shadow, thank you so much for doing that, gifting the membership. That's really awesome of you. So we're going to go over to Ledger Live here. I've already got my Ledger Nano X connected. We're looking at the app catalog here. We have the apps installed. And you're claiming that you did an update. I know you're being genuine, but this is a familiar trope on Reddit and other message boards, or however you want to think about it. People are always blaming the update. They're always saying, I had 10 Bitcoin, I ran an update, and now I only have 7. Or I had a bunch of crypto, I ran the update, and now it's all gone. Or I ran the update and now my device is screwed. This is, this whole idea that it's dangerous to do updates gets permeated throughout the community. There's no danger in running updates. But I want to run through this with you, okay? So there's no firmware update available for my Ledger Nano X. I've been up to date for a long time now. So I can't really run the firmware update for you. But I am running the latest firmware. Now there's also app updates. So if maybe you were talking about an app update, I don't know. That usually doesn't affect the functionality of the device. I'm not going to do it at the moment. Let's just install an app, right? So we'll go over here to the app catalog. Let's see. I don't think it would matter which app, but I'm going to do Algorand. I want you to tell me at what point the device shuts down, which I know I've been doing tech support for many years, and I get cranky when people are ambiguous or not precise, but that's okay. We're not, I'm not going to force you to be precise. You're just telling me your issue. So at what point does the device shut down, and what does that mean the device shuts down? It goes blank. It starts smoking. I don't know. So we're installing the Algorand app. There it goes. Yada, yada, yada. Loading, please wait. And I'm not trying to mock you because I have heard other people having this issue. It did not shut down for me. And, it's always, I ran the update and now my device is screwed. All right, so let's update these apps. This might take a minute or two, but I would like to do this. So you saw me installing an app. It had a little progress screen going across. And then when it was done, the app that I had just installed was selected, right? Algorand, you saw that. So at what point did your device shut down? Before it started the progress, or during the progress, or right when you clicked install app, or after the app had completely installed? Did the device just go black? That's kind of what I'm after here. Now, you might want to double check your battery. If it's been sitting in a drawer for 5 years, the battery is probably shot by now. So you might want to plug it in and charge it up. I don't mean to talk down to you, but could be a battery issue. It could be that it's not charged, that issue, or it could be you have a battery issue. That's a known issue with Ledger Nano X. Sometimes it doesn't happen a lot. I've owned lots of them over the years. I've never had that problem. But I hear that a lot in Reddit, is that, oh, it won't hold a charge. So perhaps that's your issue. It's just a battery issue. It's running the updates. I was like, what's it doing now? Yeah, it's running updates. Let's see. All right, so Nerd Miner is a small CPU in a box that uses 1 watt and has 72K hash. It's more nice digital clock, which has a very small chance of finding a valid block. It's more or less an interesting gadget. I love that. It does. Yeah, there's hope springs eternal. You could possibly find a block. It's not out of the realm of possibility. That would be incredible. If your little hash nerd miner actually found a block, you'd be set for life. That would be so cool. But yeah, finding a block on an individual miner is not very likely, right? If you own a legitimate miner, like an ASIC miner that you paid, $1,500 or $5,000 for, or whatever, it's very unlikely that even that is going to find a block. You should always join a mining pool, right? All right, now do I have any room for anything that I do not have installed? Yeah. Whoop. I don't care. I just want to install something. All right, I'll install Ethereum Classic. So here we go. I just ran my app update. Yeah, Dan is pointing out that Bitcoin was down to, November 6th, 2016 was 700. Dan, you remember what it was I think Dan says 13,000 in 2020. I thought that it had hit, it looked like it installed fine and the device did not shut down. So I can't recreate that particular issue. Sorry. I wish I could. And then maybe I would be scratching my head over here, but I can't. I'm a typical tech support guy. I can never replicate the issue. Because I'm like the used car salesman, right? You bring in the car and it runs like, purrs like a kitten. So I cannot recreate that issue, but I have heard of that. Okay, let's jump into the news. If you've never been in the stream before, we got a whole bunch of goodies in the description. If you don't see the entire description, go down below the video, click show more, and you'll see all this great stuff. What we're going to talk about. Ledger STAX is available for shipping right now. If you want a Ledger STAX, you can order it right now. You don't have to wait. It is available and is shipping. Awesome. If you want a Flex, which is a little cheaper, they're also available. And there is a Flex referral program, which I'm going to go through in a little bit, show you how to get the Flex referral. It's a BTC bonus that you can get. You and someone else, right? Which is pretty cool. So I'll show you how to do that. And let's see, a couple things we want to talk about. Elipal Mini. I just did a video yesterday or the day before on the Elipal Mini air gapped wallet. Pretty cool little wallet. I did a video on that and the Elipal Steel, seed phrase Steel, for backing up your seed phrase. You might want to check out that video if you're into that. Trezor Safe 5, Tangent Ring, everything's going awesome. We got all these affiliate links and all these news stories and ways to get a hold of me down here at the bottom. All right, so let's jump into the news without too much further ado. I'm a bit behind because of that little troubleshooting issue. Bitcoin hits another milestone, topping 77K for the first time. Funding rates suggest crypto rally can keep going. As you may be aware, on Friday, I think it was, or Thursday, whenever it was this week, the Fed lowered interest rates by 25 basis points, which was expected. So we've come down 3 basis points since they started lowering, right? The first one was at kind of an unexpected 50 basis points reduction in the interest rate. The Fed fund And then last week it was another 0.25. So this is good for risk assets. People are happy. Hopefully it won't trigger hyperinflation, but we'll see. And the markets like it, and Bitcoin really likes it. Bitcoin also likes the fact that Trump won the election because he is pro-crypto. He said so in his, during his campaign. He has a lot of good ideas for crypto. I'm surprised that I'm surprised the Democrats didn't seize on the issue of crypto to sort of even the odds. But they talked about, maybe we'll do some regulation, possibly. They just weren't hyping Bitcoin the way Trump is. Now, whether or not he's going to follow through on this stuff, we don't know. But he was considered to be the pro-Bitcoin presidential candidate. Unfortunately, Elizabeth Warren, the anti-crypto candidate, beat her pro-crypto rival in her Senate race. So we still have Elizabeth Warren. Here we can see we got up to 77,105. I thought it was just a bit higher than that. I thought it was like 77,300. I think maybe it hit it again earlier today. I don't know. It's just going crazy. Ethereum broke 3 grand. We'll talk about that. S&P's doing well. I mean, we're just getting, things are looking good market-wise. And Bitcoin is just comfortably over its all-time high, right? The all-time high that we'd been trying to break since March was 73,600, if I'm not mistaken. We blasted past that, and we've just been flirting with new all-time highs. I guess we're in what Dan might say is price discovery now. So it's a good time for Bitcoin. All right, let's see. I didn't see that. Whoever came in and asked that question about his or her Ledger device left, I guess. She hasn't come back in. Now, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but they're using a kitten for their icon, which leads me to believe it's a woman, but I could be wrong. I like cats too. Okay. So there's our market, and there we go. Trump win drives Bitcoin to 76K. Plan B sets 500K target. Kenny was talking about the Plan B YouTube video. I guess they don't post their videos that often. But I guess they're not really worried that much about their YouTube channel. But a YouTuber has to sort of keep posting content to stay relevant. To keep in the good graces of the algorithm, right? But I guess they only post them every now and then, right? So anyway, they've got 500K within the next 4 years. Pretty ambitious. I think there's still some talk of 100K before the end of this year. We'll see. Right now, who knows, right? So yeah, Plan B posted their model. Just things are looking up for Bitcoin and the crypto markets all across the board. And then the story about ETH blowing past 3K, bullish momentum after Trump's election win and Fed rate cut. Ethereum has not breached its all-time high that it set back in 21, which was 5,000, if I'm not mistaken. Was that 21 or was that before 21? I can't remember. Maybe that was I don't remember when Ethereum hit 5K, but that was a long time ago. And it still hasn't breached it yet. I think it was 21. Dan, you know. And Dan is here, our moderator. Dan will try to get my attention if I accidentally mute the mic, and will answer questions that you may have about the market and stuff like that. I'm looking for tech support questions on self-custody and then MicroStrategy. I've had a few friends tell me that they're doing really well with their MicroStrategy holdings. If you're a little more conservative, maybe not as tech savvy, don't know about crypto self-custody, you can, in your regular brokerage account, you can buy MicroStrategy and it is a pretty it's an indirect investment in the price of Bitcoin. They hold a lot of Bitcoin. There are also Bitcoin ETFs that you can invest in if you're a regular type investor. My channel focuses on self-custody of crypto, right? So let's do a quick drop into my wallet. So we're going to go back over here to accounts in Ledger Live. And I talked about this refresh issue. It went away. But sometimes it won't go away right away, but it doesn't mean that you can't access your crypto. It just means that it hasn't updated all the current price information and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't be able to send crypto back and forth, or you wouldn't be able to send crypto out if that thing wasn't refreshed, but I doubt it. I think you could still do an outgoing send. So don't freak out when you see that, although it is kind of scary because it's all in red. People see stuff like that and they think they're going to lose their crypto. You won't. All right. Let's see. I want to put it in the stacks. So, yeah, let me point out that I have 3 different devices that I'm managing in Ledger Live here. And I did a video. Let's see, what was I going to, managing more than one device, right? Yeah, this one. How to manage multiple Ledger devices in one copy of Ledger Live. A lot of people ask me this question. I did a video on it. You might want to check this one out if you're not familiar with all of this, but you can manage multiple devices in one copy of Ledger Live. Of course, all of the holdings on all of those devices will show up in your portfolio section, and they, you know, you can't separate the prices being held on each device. Unfortunately, there's no way to separate the prices. I mean, you can look at the account balances, but you'd have to add them up with a calculator. So as you can see, I have one Bitcoin Orange Nano X, this guy, who has a nice little amount of Bitcoin on there. And then I've got a couple of empty accounts. This one associated with my Flex, this one associated with my Stacks. So the first thing we'll do before we move some Bitcoin into this wallet is do our hardware check. I'm connecting my device. Okay. And now I'm going to need to change this thing here. I can get this thing. Hope that's going to work out for me. Yeah. Okay. Let's come out a little bit. Okay. Let's bring it down just a tad. Sorry about this. Yeah, I had been working with a Ledger Nano X earlier. Okay, so let's get our PIN entered. Ooh, what have I done? Oh no. Not that I'm worried about my crypto being lost, but if I accidentally reset this device during the live stream, things could go bad. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, so we want to do the hardware check. So you can't see my screen, so we'll just temporarily put that down. We'll go into the Bitcoin Stacks. This is the Bitcoin account associated with my Stacks device. I'm going to do the received generated receiving address. We hit continue here, and then let's look over here. It wants me to open the Bitcoin app on my device, right? All right, so it's going to export the public information, and it will display the address on the device, right? I need to swipe. Am I doing this wrong? Okay, there it goes. There's the address. I see it on my device and I see it on my screen. So we've successfully confirmed that that device is associated with that account, right? But let's try it on the other account. I've already got the address in my clipboard, so don't forget that. Let's try it on the Flex account and see what happens. I've got the Bitcoin open, and it goes, something's wrong, right? Basically what it's telling me in this very convoluted statement is that I have the wrong device attached. Or I have the right device attached, but I haven't entered the correct passphrase. Something along those lines, right? It's a little convoluted and mysterious, but it's what happens when your device and your account don't match, right? So, but we already got the address. We already confirmed it. Let's go over to Coinbase. There is some BTC in here. Let's turn this guy off. All right, we don't need that for the moment. And we can disconnect the device at this point. A lot of people ask me that. Do I have to leave the device connected when I'm transferring crypto? No, you don't. If you've already got if you've done your hardware check, got your address, make your transfer, you don't have to have the device connected, right? The device was just there to do the hardware check, and now we're done. All right, the transfer of Bitcoin will take place on the blockchain. Your device can be off or disconnected or in a Faraday box or whatever. The Bitcoin will move from Coinbase to that wallet address. The next time we reconnect the device, we'll be good. Now, if you're in Coinbase, I don't know, not everybody uses Coinbase, but if you click on this part, you're going to get the trading interface for Bitcoin, right? But if you hover directly over the letters Bitcoin, it will take you to sort of the wallet interface. And you'll have the send open, right? I want to send it all. If you've got a lot of Bitcoin, always do small tests. I've done this one before. And now the to field. This is where people get a little confused. It says to, and then when I click on it, now what? What is all this? Well, it basically just means that they want you to choose a network. It says select network, but it is a little confusing. So you have to pick which network you want to use. You can use Bitcoin on Base, but I'm using the regular Bitcoin network, so I'm going to choose default. I have to pay $1.62 fee to get out my 48 bucks worth. Now I got another search bar. Now I'm really confused. What does all this mean? All it means now is that it wants me to put in the address that I want to send to. So I'll just paste in that address. Boom. We're done. Right? And now the other weird thing. It gives me the beginning and end of the address down here, and I have to click on this. I've never been able to, this is not going to, you have to click on this thing down here. I don't know why they make you do that. It's got the little check mark telling me that it's a valid Bitcoin address. And then I have to click here to tell it that's where I want to send it. But we're done now, right? Now we do preview send. We're going to send this Bitcoin minus that fee. It's not going to take too long, $1.62. We'll hit send now. And then it needs my two-factor. You may have passkey. You may not need two-factor. You may be using Authy. You may have SMS two-factor. But basically this is security. And off it goes. A little word about fees. That fee was pretty high. I get that. A lot of people complain about that. But we are getting charged fees in almost everything we do in life, sometimes under the surface. I mean, if I had all of the sales tax that I had paid over the course of my life, I'd have a nice little chunk of money. You don't really get credit card merchant fees, but in a way you do, because vendors that accept credit cards have merchant fees that they have to pay as a merchant, and they usually will pass that along to the consumer. I used to work at a computer store, and we had sales, and they would say this sale is the cash only price. And that meant that if you wanted to use a credit card, you had to pay a higher price. But we weren't allowed to say it that way. Because if we said, I told one guy, I said, that's the price, that's the sale price in the paper was the cash price. But the retail, the regular price is blah, blah. He goes, you can't do that. You can't charge me more for using my credit card. Or that's illegal to do that, or something like that. And I looked at him and I said, not when I say it like that, it isn't. When I tell you the sale is a cash price only and that the regular price is such and such, that's okay. Anyhow, so we get fees all everywhere, right? We just not always be aware of them. But yeah, you might say, oh, Bitcoin blockchain fees are too high. Well, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not going to worry too much about the $5 Bitcoin fee that I had to pay when I transferred my Bitcoin from FTX into my wallet back in 2021 before FTX crashed. But I'm pretty happy that I did because now I still have that Bitcoin. I did not lose it when the FTX exchange collapsed. I'm not going to moan about that $5 transfer fee because that Bitcoin back then has effectively doubled in price, if not more, right? So yeah, I mean, don't worry too much about the fees is all I'm saying. But I know people watch me like a hawk and they see these fees and they freak out and they claim that Bitcoin sucks because the fees are too high. Joseph, before I wanted to thank Joseph for the donation. He mentions that he has a mirror backup now. We talked about mirror backups last week. That's like creating a spare car key. You basically just buy a second device and run the restore that you have on your original device from the seed phrase you have for your original device. And now both devices are configured to the same master private key. I know that's a mouthful. Oh, it's not come into the Flex because I didn't send it to the Flex. I sent it to the Stacks. There it is. Okay, so yeah. And another thing you want to think about too, and another thing that people freak out about is, okay, here's what I sent. I sent 0.00059765. 0.0059765, right? It was a zero balance before we got started. So this is the amount you want to look at. Don't look at this 45.93 and then go back to Coinbase and go, wait a minute, it said 45.92. I came out ahead on that deal, or I lost 5 cents on that deal. The price of Bitcoin that Coinbase is giving you in dollars might be slightly different from the price of your Bitcoin that Ledger Live is getting. They both have different ways of determining the current price of Bitcoin. There is no set price of Bitcoin, no unified price of Bitcoin. It's slightly different everywhere. Also, there may have been some market fluctuation between the time I sent and the time I received. So don't be all OCD about the dollar value. Look at the Bitcoin that you got. I sent this Bitcoin, I got this Bitcoin. That's what really matters. So, and then also notice down here that it is orange. And if I hover over there, it says not confirmed. This means that it's not confirmed completely on the blockchain yet. But it will, right? Once you see it in your wallet, you can be safe and secure in the fact that you know the Bitcoin is in the wallet. You just can't spend it until it's confirmed. Doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means you can't spend it yet. All right, so those are the basics of Bitcoin self-custody. Now it's in my wallet. If I wanted to send it back to Coinbase, all I had to do was go to Coinbase and do a transfer, receive crypto in Coinbase, tell them I want to send them some Bitcoin, get that address, go back to Ledger Live. Of course, I can't do that yet because it hasn't confirmed. But if I wanted to send that Bitcoin back to Coinbase, that's the way I would do it, right? You put in the address you're sending to and then send max, but it won't work because it hasn't confirmed on the blockchain yet. That would cost me $1.25. Although if I were maybe sending 0.5 Bitcoin, the blockchain fee would probably be around $1 or $2 also. So percentage wise, smaller transactions tend to have higher blockchain fees percentage wise, right? Blockchain fees are not based on percentages, right? They're based on the current state of the blockchain and the activity of the blockchain. You could probably send 0.0005 Bitcoin and zero point 0.5 Bitcoin with approximately the same blockchain fees. Let me see. I want to. That person that asked that question just kind of disappeared. Okay. So yeah, maybe they were just a troller wanting to scare everybody into thinking that if you ran an update, your device would be shutting down. But it didn't for me. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Thought I was doing good there. So, let's do the Ledger Flex thing. I've never done this before. I don't think, yeah. Okay, so I have an Ethereum account based on my Ledger Flex. So I'm going to connect the Flex. This is my Ledger Flex. I'm going to enter my my PIN. Oops. Okay. Okay. I did that. Pulled that one off. I just want to have it on and ready. I want to show you this real quick. One thing that always bothers me is the screen lock, right? So we can go into the settings, which are down here, these little gear icon, go to the lock screen, and I like to turn my lock screen off. Like auto lock, I cannot stand auto lock. Mine's off, right? You can enable and disable lock screen in your settings. This gives me 2 minutes before it goes to sleep and I have to enter the PIN. So they'll ask you, it's a security risk sort of, because I could possibly forget to disconnect the device before I walk away and someone else could walk up and access the device, conceivably. But I'm not using this in my cubicle in my office. I'm at home. I wanted to show you this referral thing. So I'm going to close this off real quick. And let me just do a quick intro here. I can't do it. All right, forget it. All right. Well, scratch that idea. I'll record an intro later. So the Flex Referral Program. So I got an email from Ledger, and they have a refer a friend and get $30 in Bitcoin until November 19th. So it's simple. Refer your friends and family to buy Ledger Flex. When they do, we'll give you $30 in Bitcoin, $10 in BTC increase. I don't know what that means. Plus $20 in BTC for your friend. Maybe they're saying it's $10 more than they did before. I don't know. But you've got till November 19th. That's 10 days. If you have purchased a Ledger Flex in the last 30 days, you can't go wrong. You know, the one thing that you could, if you're embarrassed and you don't want to, be a nudge, trying to encourage your family members to buy Ledger Flex, maybe. But let's look at it this way. I want to level with you guys. Back in 2017, 18, 19, and 20, even 2021, I was afraid to recommend Bitcoin and crypto to my family members because I was afraid that they would lose money and blame me. Bitcoin was difficult, still is difficult for self-custody, very volatile, and I was afraid to tell my friends and family to buy Bitcoin. And I knew that Bitcoin was going to, take off and it wasn't going away. But still, the day-to-day fluctuations, I was afraid my friends and relatives could not handle that. Well, here we are, and Bitcoin has crashed and burned and risen like a phoenix many times. It is obvious Bitcoin is here to stay. We're, comfortably into a new all-time high. So, and people have seen Bitcoin rise from the ashes. So recommending Bitcoin is a no-brainer to your friends and family. The Ledger Flex is an awesome wallet with a really groundbreaking, easy to use touchscreen. Much easier to use than the older Ledger Nano X or the even older Ledger Nano S. So recommending one of these to your friends and family is a win-win. So, and of course, it's a referral. So if they don't buy one, you're not going to get your $30 in Bitcoin. But if they do, you'll get $30 in Bitcoin and they'll get $20 in Bitcoin. So let's see how it works. We'll hit refer a friend. All right, it's going to take us over to this page that asks me to open my Ledger Live, right? I think also, okay, it takes me to the refer a friend section of Ledger Live. I also wanted to show you this. Yeah, this is the web page here. Refer your friends and earn Bitcoin. I believe that's the one that I have linked in the description, right? So if you're looking for this Flex referral program, I've got it in the description. You should just be able to click this link and it should take you to this web page, and then you can launch the referral app. Or you might have received this email if you bought yours from Ledger directly. You might have gone into Best Buy with cash and you're not getting any emails from Ledger, right? But click that link. All right, and now we're in Ledger Live. We're here. There's the invite link. I need to sign in, right? So I'm going to sign in using my device, right? We got the device all lined up as I showed you. Actually, I think I should be in the Bitcoin app, but I'm sorry, the Ethereum app, which is weird. That's what it said. Okay, yeah, sign in with your Ethereum account. Okay, so we're signing in using our Ethereum account to get a Bitcoin referral. So stranger things have happened. All right, like they said, we got 10 days left. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. All right, there it is. I don't want the stacks. I want the Flex because I have the Flex attached, right? All right, so we got everything lined up properly. Okay, there. Okay, let's hit connect. It should tell me to open the Flex. Okay, yeah. Okay, it wants me to sign in. I get it. Continue. Okay, now it's asking me to open the Ethereum app on my device. I'm getting kind of a glare here. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the Ethereum app. Okay, review message. All right, so I'm going to swipe. Okay, there's this refer a friend thing. I'm going to swipe one more time. I don't know what all that is. Let's hit swipe one more. There. Now I got to sign it. All right, so I'm going to hold down. Boom. Message signed. Now I'm signed in. All right, on my device. All right, and so there's my referral. So my assumption, this is weird, that it's using my Ethereum address. So how's it going to know where to send the Bitcoin? This week, refer a friend to Ledger Flex and get $30 worth of Bitcoin. They will earn 20. All right, so I copied the link. All right, and then I'm going to go over here. And let's see, I'm going to send an email to my good friend Rex, the other Rex, Ledger Flex referral. All right, and I can't spell, but that's okay. Buy this now. Okay. All right, there's my link. All right, so we're going to click that. And that's it. Now, I guess I could send this link to as many people as I want. if you read the fine print, I believe it says something about there's a limit. I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's a limit to the number of flexes your friends can buy, or each, or I don't know. But at the very least, you're going to get your $30 worth of Bitcoin. Let's turn this camera off here. So let's see what it looks like on the incoming end. Whoops. I want this. Whoops. Okay, there. That's me. All right, so I just got an email from CryptoDad. He wants me to purchase a Ledger. Flex, has to be a Flex, right? Let's click the link, and what's it going to do? Okay, I think it just takes me down here, right? Hit add to cart. Okay. I don't want the coverage. I don't want Ledger Recover. I just skip all this. Okay, and they have added that $20 worth of Bitcoin as a gift card. So I'm not really sure how they're going to send me my $30 worth of Bitcoin since I just signed in using my Ethereum account. I don't know. Some people might be worried about the privacy issue. I don't know, to be honest with you, how they're going to locate me. It would be interesting to find out. Yeah. Maybe because of my code. I don't know. But that's how you do it, right? So your friend or your family member buys their Ledger Flex. Their $20 worth of Bitcoin claim code is already in there. From what I understand, I don't think I've ever gotten one of these from Ledger before. They're going to send you kind of a card that has, like it says 20 Bitcoin on there, and you go to some sort of website to claim it, and then they transfer it into your wallet. That's how it works. Interesting. Alrighty. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here. What else is going on? I did want to talk about the Ledger Recover here quickly and the Trezor Recover. When paying, add up all the BTC they take, not the USD price. In 10 years, it will make you cry how much you really paid. I've been trying to get Toad on Coinbase Wallet, and they keep saying that this transaction will probably fail. Also, the same thing for the new cryptocurrency. It's in the network or gatekeepers. When you're buying brand new, and this is kind of a, if it's in Coinbase Wallet, it's on an EVM chain. I don't know if it's on the Ethereum chain or Base chain or whatever. But if you're using Coinbase Wallet, it's EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, which includes a lot of different chains. But if you're trying to make a trade of some kind for a very low liquidity coin or coin that just came out, you're going to get all kinds of crazy warnings. The price is going to be very volatile. There's probably not a lot of liquidity. So when you go to try to make a trade or a swap, it's going to give you something like, hey, this might fail. Mostly probably because of the liquidity issue. In other words, there's not a whole bunch of other people out there waiting to sell theirs or take yours on trade or whatever. The Coinbase wallet is it's a DEX. It's decentralized. There is no market maker, right? There is no centralized liquidity. So, you're dealing in a market that, the liquidity and the market making is part of the smart contracts, right? So, if you're swapping Ethereum for US dollar coin, no big deal, right? There's plenty of that floating around out there for all the people using the DEX. But these new coins have low liquidity. That's probably why you're getting error messages. Glad to be here. Ledger put out a good podcast yesterday on their channel you might enjoy listening to. Yeah, I should check it out. I love listening to the guys at Ledger. I love Ian I like listening to, I don't know Pascal that well. I've met him a couple of times. Charles Gourier, very smart people. I love listening to them talk about Ledger. There you go. I remember that, Dan, because Tommy always takes some profits. Hey, somebody in from Torrance. Goofy dude. Good to have you. Can you sell directly from any of those cold wallets, or do I need to transfer to an exchange to sell first? This whole idea of being able to sell directly from your wallet is kind of a facade that they put up in front of you, making you think that you can just swap right on your wallet. On a DEX, basically you do through smart contracts and decentralized liquidity and market makers. But when you use the swap service within Ledger Live, let's see. Let's say we want to trade this Bitcoin for Solana onto my stacks, whatever. Notice that they're giving me several third-party centralized agents. Basically, these are centralized entities. When I do this so-called swap on my wallet, you are not doing it right on your wallet. A lot of people think they can do that, but wallets don't work like that. Wallet cannot create Sol out of thin air, right? If I have Bitcoin in my wallet, I can't just tell my wallet, hey, I want to trade you Bitcoin for Sol. There's no Sol in the wallet. It can't just come out of thin air. So you have to send your Bitcoin out of your wallet to either CIC, Exodus, or MoonPay. They will do the exchange on their centralized servers, and then they will send me the Sol back to my wallet. So nothing is really happening on my wallet, but it starts in my wallet and ends in my wallet. So it's transparent to me that I've made some sort of swap on my wallet, right? I gave him Bitcoin, I got Sol, and it feels like I did it on my wallet, but you don't really. So I prefer to, manually send my coins to an exchange that I trust and I feel comfortable with. I'm not a big fan of MoonPay. I think they're a European-based. And they have AML, anti-money laundering protocols in place. They might flag your transaction and hold your trade, right? There's all kinds of shenanigans that can occur when you're doing these so-called swaps in your wallet. So in answer to your question, if you want to use a DEX, if you want to go over and use, say, Uniswap, these are full-blown DEXs, right? But you have to have a proper wallet set up, like either MetaMask or Rabby, and then you can use things like, I don't know where it went. I guess it's down here. Right. If you wanted to use Uniswap or SushiSwap or something, these are full-blown DEXs, right? You're actually making trades, by connecting your wallet. But even here, you're not really doing it right in your wallet. There are people out there providing, the community provides the liquidity. So you're interacting with a smart contract, but your crypto is leaving your wallet, getting the other coin, and it comes back in through these decentralized DEX. Just because it's decentralized doesn't mean that it's happening right on your wallet, right? Like I said, your wallet can't create the other crypto out of thin air. It has to come from somewhere. So you're buying that crypto from somebody somewhere, even though we call it a swap. It's like, I have Ethereum. I want to get, what's that coin you're talking about? Toad, right? I want Toad. Well, Toad doesn't materialize out of thin air. It has to come from somewhere. Centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange where somebody in the community has Toad tokens that they want to sell, and they're willing to accept your Ethereum, right? Just keep that in mind. I prefer to send my tokens to an exchange, right? Apologies if you've covered this, but is it true that ETH upgrades that are tentatively planned will make it possible to pay gas fees from not only the sending wallet, but the receiving wallet? I haven't heard anything about that. Generally, gas fees are from the sending wallet. I've never heard of the receiving wallet having to pay gas fees. Now, if I'm moving Ethereum, if I buy Ethereum on Coinbase and I move it into my wallet, then yes, I'm paying the what you might call the gas fees from Coinbase, but not directly. Coinbase is paying gas fees on their wallet. They're charging me what they call a withdrawal fee, but it's basically them passing along the gas fees that they are incurring by transferring my Ethereum that I bought from them. Yeah. They used to give you free withdrawals back in the old days, that GDAX, but they don't do that anymore, right? So, but no, I've never heard of an incoming or receiving wallet having to pay gas fees. I haven't heard anything about that. But if I read something in next week or so that they're trying to upgrade Ethereum to where receiving wallets can pay gas fees, then I'll tell you I was wrong. But I haven't heard anything about that. Let's talk about this recover issue real quick. If you have a Trezor device and you're worried, I think I told you the little story, and I did a video on this, but I just wanted to cover this briefly. I'm going to connect my Trezor device. This is my Trezor Safe 5 Bitcoin only wallet. Bitcoin only edition of the Trezor wallet, which is, I think, is really cool. Let's see here. Whoops. All right. So I've got my device attached. I've got the pin entered. And it wants me to do a firmware update. Now, I'm not afraid of firmware updates. But some people are. They're real skittish about doing firmware updates. They're afraid they're going to lose all their crypto. And so the answer to that is it doesn't matter. The device doesn't matter. If you have your seed phrase, then you can shoot this thing with a gun and buy a new device and you won't have to worry, right? Or you can smash it, or the dog can eat it, or you can run the firmware update and your device starts smoking or whatever. You don't have to worry about any of that because you've got your seed phrase. But in this case, the viewer that asked me the question says, I'm worried about the firmware update, and I'm worried my seed phrase is written down incorrectly. So I'm just like, terrified. And I'm terrified of moving it to an exchange, right? I'm just altogether terrified that I'm going to lose my crypto. You can go into your settings. I'm not even recording the live stream. What am I? All right. Anyhow, doesn't matter. It's already over now. We go to settings, then we go to device, and then we go down here to check backup, right? And then it says check your device. All right, and then on the device, it wants to know if you want to check the backup. And you get out your backup phrase that you have written down on a piece of paper. And then you enter those words into the device. Never enter your seed phrase from your keyboard into your computer or onto your phone or anything like that. This is an official Trezor app within Trezor Suite, right? You enter the words on the device, and then it's just a simulation, but it can check whether that seed phrase that you entered matches the configuration of the device. So when you're done, it'll say, hey, I can't get out of this. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just closed it. It'll say, fail. Or it'll say, yay, this seed phrase matches. So once you've done that, you're golden, right? You don't have to worry about the firmware update or the device crashing or anything crazy like that, because you have a seed phrase and you have full confidence in your seed phrase, right? Also, in Ledger, you can do the same thing in Ledger Live, right? Let's go back over to my Ledger. I'll go ahead and allow this. And on the second page here, I have the recovery check. This is just an app. Actually, I think I could be out of Ledger Live, right? I don't even have to be in Ledger Live to do this. Just tap recovery check, right? And then this app lets you enter a secret recovery phrase and test it if it matches the one present on this Ledger device, on this STAX. So it's a way of double checking your seed phrase to make sure that it's written down correctly, right? Ideally, you should do the recovery check on the STAX and on the Trezor Safe 5 as soon as you set it up. Before you put any crypto in there, run that recovery check. That's what the Trezor Expert did with me when I had my Trezor Expert one-on-one session. He had me run the recovery check as soon as we were done configuring the device, to give you that peace of mind that you have your seed phrase down incorrect. You've written your seed phrase down correctly. I don't know why I keep wanting to say incorrectly. I wanted to just jump over and show you a few of these. I am on Reddit, and my profile is the CryptoDad, which is pretty cool. So if you see any of my posts on Reddit, you will know that it's me. I want to put this in here. Yeah, that's Reddit. That's the official CryptoDad. Someone had said there are a lot of imposters out there. You guys have to be aware of that. So what I want, those are my posts. It's been a while. So I wanted to read this post to you. Okay. Hello. I have a ledger. When I was mining Ethereum, and for unforeseen circumstances, I lost it 3 years ago and found it today. Okay. I can't remember my PIN. Uh-oh. Right. I have an idea, but I've already tried twice. Right. He's down to his third attempt. Unfortunately, he cannot find his recovery phrase anywhere. Worried I lost it while moving. Why do people that buy Ledger devices always seem to move? Every time I hear someone that lost a seed phrase, they always say because they move. So really, if you don't want to lose crypto, then just don't move, right? Just stay in the same place, right? But this is a classic case. Please don't forget your PIN. And please don't lose your seed phrase. I know it sounds easy, right? But it requires a little bit of mindfulness, right? Rigorous, as my high school calculus teacher used to say all the time. We must do rigorous mathematics. Rigorous mathematics. A couple of the other kids in my English class like to imitate him. Rigorous mathematics. You have to be rigorous, right? This is not like, I forgot my Facebook login, or, this is real stuff. Don't be flippant about setting up your device and storing your seed phrase. This will happen to you if you're not careful, right? So he has a device. I'm assuming has some crypto on there. It got lost. It got found, but he can't find his seed phrase. And he doesn't remember his PIN. This is another, I think I talked about, I harp on this all the time. This is a living, breathing device. Don't just put it in a drawer and forget about it for 3 years. It's going to cause you heartache down the road. You need to update at least once or twice a year. But, if you're going to do self-custody, learn how to be comfortable with the device, how to make transfers. If you're doing dollar cost averaging, then maybe once a month or maybe once every 3 months, if you're buying weekly or whatever, wait until you've accumulated a nice little amount of Bitcoin, do a small test to your wallet, and then transfer the bulk, right? Do that every 3 months, pull out your device, use your PIN. Don't forget your PIN. Be familiar with the device, right? Let's see what else we got here. Semi-dumb question, but how to get new MetaMask wallet to show up in Ledger Live? It's not a dumb question. It's a pretty straightforward question, but the answer is you can't. You can connect your device to MetaMask and view your balances in MetaMask, but you cannot view your MetaMask wallet in Ledger Live. Now you could view your Ethereum wallet in Ledger Live, and you can view your Avalanche wallet, and you could view your Polygon wallet. But if you're using MetaMask, you may have, whoops, I knew that was going to happen. You may have some other chains, right? You might be using, I don't know, Binance Smart Chain or Base or whatever, right? You might be using different chains. So you need to use MetaMask to do this. But notice here that this account, right, is my Ledger STAX account. You can connect hardware to your MetaMask. Oh, hardware wallet, right? You can connect a Ledger or Trezor or Lattice or, an air gap wallet to MetaMask, but you're not going to see your MetaMask balance in Ledger Live. MetaMask is a third-party wallet. It can incorporate the device, so the private key is stored on the device, but it's separate from Ledger Live. They're two different things. And like I said, you can sort of see part of what you're holding in your Ledger Live when you look at your Ethereum wallet. But if you're like trading on Base or, Optimism or whatever in MetaMask, use MetaMask for that. You can't see your MetaMask in Ledger Live. Let's see, what was this last one? How to verify a new Ledger Nano S as genuine. All right, so I don't know where he got a new Ledger Nano S because they don't sell those anymore. He might be talking about a Ledger Nano S Plus. Maybe he found one in a box, or on the street in the gutter, and he wants to verify that it is genuine. Well, that's a no-brainer. Whenever you connect a new device to Ledger Live and go into the My Ledger section, it runs a device genuine check every time, right? Every time you go in here, it does the genuine check. So if you're worried that your device is not genuine, connect it to Ledger Live, go into the My Ledger section, and it'll tell you right away if there's something fishy about it. But I don't think there are too many people out there that are, in their secret labs constructing fake Ledger devices. It's just not, there's just not a lot of return on that kind of scam, right? It requires technical skills. It requires somehow inserting your device into the distribution chain or whatever, or sneaking into people's houses and swapping their genuine device out for your fake device. People worry about having a device that's not genuine, right? But the device has a genuine check. The reason scammers are not constructing fake Ledger devices that look real and steal your crypto is because there's not a lot of return and there's too much invested in time and expertise, when it's so much easier to just call someone up on the phone and trick them into revealing that seed phrase. That is the number one scam. You are the number one security risk of your crypto hardware wallet because you know the seed phrase and you might get tricked into revealing it. So that is your biggest risk. That is where you should focus all your attention of keeping your crypto safe and secure. Make sure you don't lose that device. Make sure you know where it is. Make sure no one else sees it, and don't give it out to anyone else. Lying awake at night wondering whether your device is genuine is a paranoid fantasy, really. Let me catch up. I'm going to log out here. When my Ledger Live asked me to turn on my location, it made me not do it. I have to do that. No, you don't have to. You can disable the Ledger, what do they call it? Analytics, right? The analytics stuff is optional. You don't have to enable the analytics. You can disable the analytics. It's behind me here. Whoops. Yeah. You can't really see it. Yeah. Analytics down here. You can toggle that on and off, right? The Ledger device doesn't collect any more information. There are certain things that companies have to collect by law, like, sales figures and that sort of stuff. They can't just for legal accounting purposes, they have to collect certain information about their customers, just like any other company does. But you don't have to participate in the analytics part. So don't get all freaked out when they ask you for your location data. I've heard that before. People are, oh, the Ledger wants me to turn on location data. I think that's only for the personalized experience in the analytics. I could be wrong about that. But yeah. Anywho, it's been a good night. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. I appreciate everyone that came in and participated and asked questions. I hope that I was able to answer the questions that came in. I hope you know a little bit more about self-custody and the recover check. Yeah, if you're worried about your recovery phrase, run that recovery check. You can do that on Ledger or Trezor, give you some peace of mind. Always keep that seed phrase safe. Never enter it into your computer. Never give it to anyone over the phone, even if they tell you they're from Ledger or they're from Coinbase or they're trying to convince you that, somebody's trying to steal your crypto. Don't give it out, right? There's never any reason to give that to anyone. All right, so let's put it here. Once again, I want to thank Kenny for the news and for being here early. Thank you, Dan, for being here and moderating. Look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Good to see you, Joseph. Thank you so much for that generous donation. Dusted in Shadow, thank you for gifting memberships. That's really cool of you to do that. And thank you everyone that just came in and participated, asked questions, or just lurked. Either way. Andy asked, what's best, MetaMask or Uniswap? Uniswap is a little more precise of a place you can go to use your MetaMask wallet. But MetaMask wallet itself has, blurred a few of the lines, and they have their own sort of aggregator. You might try them both. I like Uniswap because it's a little more precise, but MetaMask has a pretty decent aggregator. It'll get you prices from different dexes. All right. Once again, I'll be here next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. Keep an eye on my channel. If you're into Bitcoin and you're just getting into it and you want to know how do I store Bitcoin in my own wallet, check out my channel. I have so many tutorials on using wallets. I recommend using a hardware wallet, whatever brand you choose, Ledger, Trezor. There are a lot of brands out there. Ledger and Trezor are the biggest ones. So, but I have reviews of I wouldn't say hundreds, tens of different types of lots of different wallets. So check out my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click. That will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody.